Good morning and good day. I hope everybody had a safe evening yesterday, and today is a new day. You are tuned in to me. Let me get my camera going. Oh, wrong camera. There you go. Hey, good morning, everybody. This is Michael Hayes of the Living Legacy Group. I want to welcome you to my channel, and today we are going to continue to do some live trading. We'll have the live monitor of the Trader TV Live incorporated into the channel. I'm going to be trading on the Pocket Options platform. We'll be using the MetaTrader 5 trading profile to execute our trades. We're working on Bitcoin. I am not a financial advisor. I should have played my disclaimer, but this is just for educational purposes only. And what I developed this channel was to help people like me that want to be a trader. I've been at this thing for now coming up 6 years. It's something that's, you have to develop a skill, a knowingness. You have to know what you're looking at. And what I want to do is shorten this learning curve that I know that I had. I don't know, you might be able to adapt and pick it up and really make the income that you need for what do you call a second. You need something that's going to run while you're asleep, make money while you're asleep. So this channel is there to help you figure out what, if you were going to trade, what you're going to trade, how you're going to trade, how to get into it, how to fund your accounts, what brokers are, the whole gamut. We do have, like Monday through Friday, I'll be trading from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. The market does go from 8, or actually the market starts, I have to see, I write notes. This is for real, because this is real life instances. So the market opens, the New York market opens at 8, and then it closes at 5. So we usually I'll pull up the trading TV Live, and they'll go through the morning analysis, show you their trades. I'll show my trade as it happens live. It's not being recorded. I am going to record some training so people can tune in later, but these are recorded, and you'll be able to go back if you can't get into the live stream now. If there is a pair or a stock that you would like for us to go through, and just type it in the chat, and I will make sure that we'll get that up there. I do have my channel run remote, so I don't have to be in the office all the time. I can control and see who's online and who's typing in the chat box remotely. So that's one of the good things that I can show you, that if I want you to work, do your thing. I chose to do this full time. I have another business that I run on my time that's full time, but I've learned over the years that you need multiple streams, because if you're one person working 3 physical jobs, man, my hat's off to you, but there's a better way, and I'm here to show you that way. So getting right into what we're going to be seeing today, I'm going to pull up they're not even on live yet, I don't think. So we're going to stay abreast of what is going to be happening there. But right now, let's run through on how this trade is going. So I'm going to switch off and switch to the Where's it at? Where is it at? Oh, here it is. My display. Okay, so like when I trade, I like to start my day off to look at a bird's eye view. Just imagine yourself being, I'm going to put myself in the corner here. Camera shot one. Okay, so let's imagine that you're an eagle and you're looking for a rabbit. Okay, I'm sorry, people that animal lovers and stuff like that. But when you're looking at a bird's eye view, you have a whole view of what's going on all around. So as we come into the market today, I scroll out to the daily so I can actually see that this candle is actually a daily candle. This candle has been going for 10 hours, 33 minutes, and 8 seconds. So this gives me a bird's eye view of where I need to chart my next trade if I'm going to make a trade or find out what direction it's going to go in. I may have to wait for it to pull up to pull a small profit and then wait until the market develops volume. And when the market develops volume, that's when, I didn't put my text scroll up here. And that when the market develops a trend, that's where you want to jump in and try to profit on some of these moves. These moves will be up, like this would have been a nice move. So my mistake was I was looking at this thinking that it was going to reverse because I seen or actually no, this is yesterday's. This is yesterday's. Okay. So I got in on this, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to break it down so that way this candle from yesterday, we'll be looking at this candle and we'll be looking at this candle. This candle was December 25th. This was Christmas Day, and this was the day after Christmas. Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, they're on a market that runs 24 hours, 365 days in a year. So it does not stop. That's why yesterday I closed some trades, but actually I opened a trade and I said, man, okay, I seen it peaked above the resistance level. So I said, it's going up. And I turned the computer off and I left. And then when I get to my destination to check the candle again, it had plummeted. So it didn't plummet that much, but you can see my position is down $6.68 from my opening price at $43,468.01. Now at the current price, it's at $42,809.10. So what I want to do is I want to use some analysis to try to figure out what's going to be the volume, the market trend today. When you're looking at the markets, you're looking at the day, the time, and the news. We're going to pull up some news to show you what's going on. Let's see, where's my news? My news is, it was right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up some daily news. I'm going to drag this screen over here and open it up, and you can see that this is today's news. Nothing really important, no priorities. These little dots here, you'll see these will be, if there's a red, that means, don't trade on until you find out what that news is. So today we're looking pretty good on all the markets. We do have to wait until I think it's 8 o'clock when uh, Trader TV Live comes on. We'll be monitoring that. And then, so I'm going to change the chart because we're going to be working on two charts. We place our trades on pocket options. We place our trades on pocket options because I found that was the easiest way to get involved into the industry of stock market trading. There are brokers out there that I found that I could not get involved because there was a price thing. There was an investment problem. I didn't have $200. I didn't have 5,000 or 1,000 or whatever. Now these brokers that you can get in on those prices, they are ran on. Everybody uses TradingView. TradingView is the number one charting platform that everyone uses, that I know that everyone uses. And if you look on certain websites, you'll see TradingView in the corner. See down here where it says TradingView? So what we do is we get our analysis from TradingView. We plot our plan on TradingView, and then we actually execute our trades in and on pocket options. So if you'd like to open a pocket options account, you can see the ticker at the bottom. All you do is give your name and an email. It doesn't have to be your personal email. You can make a Gmail account and have, if you don't want, you have the option of having information brought to your inbox if you want it or not. That's totally up to you. So getting back to our analysis on what we're going to do watching this trade, because we know there's some big news in the crypto industry of, number one, the Bitcoin halving, and number two, the Bitcoin ETF being launched in the New York Stock Exchange as a ETF. That means it has monetary value. Bitcoin has started its journey, back in the early 2000s. It's grown from just a conception in somebody's mind to think of a different way of handling finances, and it's grown from $0 to now. Today it is 42,888.37. Now, for people that don't know, and there's a lot of speculation out there, you're allowed to your opinion. My decision to follow this from a recommendation that a friend had me in 2016, 15, this coin went from not even $1,000 to $10,000, and I watched that, and I got involved, and I had only $5 in Bitcoin, and I watched that $5 turn into $50, and then it turned into $100, and it went on and on and on, and I was able to keep that kind of hidden back there because there was a whole lot of negative information. People didn't really know about it. They considered it being affiliated with the black market and drugs and human trafficking. And, well, dang it, don't you know that's what the real money has been doing for centuries? So looking at this coin and following the news on the coin, this potential of growth is going to explode. It's going to go, in my belief, into the 70s. It's already been at the 60s. And what I found that it does in the market, I'm going to put on this TradingView chart, I'm going to close some of my indicators. And if you don't know what indicators are, we're going to enlighten you on what those are. So let's go back in time, all the way back in time. So what I'm going to show you is why I'm getting prepared for what's coming up in the future. So here back in 2015, we watched the growth. We seen this explosion to 20,000, up to 20,000 in 2017. Now, in 2000, what happened in 2017, people decided to get in at the wrong time, and that was at the peak of Bitcoin's high. The thing you must know in dealing with the markets, you have to buy low and sell high. And then you can buy high and sell low. Well, when people started to get involved when it broke the 10,000 mark here, this Wednesday, November 17th, that's when I got mine because it was around Thanksgiving time. I watched it go from here, from like, let me see. I watched it come from, I'm down in the, I've got my charts into the volume. This is volume down here, and I'll explain volume to you. But down here, where it was not even 10,000, everybody was sitting on pins and needles, waiting. Then all of a sudden, it took off. It took off. Everybody seen it, and they started buying. So with this, if you see this, I'm going to try to zoom this in even more. And I'm giving you this analysis before the market opens. When you see this wick, that was an impulsive move. So that's when all the big players got in and bam, hit the market, shot this thing up to $20,000. Everybody's like, woo. What happened? The next day, we call this was January 1st. It crashed. It went all the way down, back down to $9,082.26. And people were livid. It was definitely a scam because one day you're up and the next day you're kicking rocks. So everybody's going, just hold on to your coins, don't sell them. There's things that are happening in the programs and the projects that fuel these coins and these tokens. And I'm going to explain to you what a stable coin is and what a token is and projects. Bitcoin is not a physical thing like money. It is a digital currency that is kept on this thing that's called a blockchain. Now, blockchain is another thing that we'll touch in on when I offer training. So the blockchain is where all of these cryptocurrencies are mined. And when they're mined, and what you call mining is when they decipher the authenticity of having the word I'm trying to use is to have the value of that coin. So as we went on to 2018, we seen a drop, kept dropping down in 2019. And then we had this influx right in the beginning of going into the pandemic. Now you have the pandemic crash, which was here, March and April of 2020. You have this crash here. So the coin was at the low was at 3,000. So you could have picked up a coin for $3,000, held on to it. And then all of a sudden we had this explosion that came all the way up to and peaked at 64,000, and it came back down. Here's another crash, came back down. When you crash, you don't really go bankrupt, but it's just a sharp move in the market to the downside. Now, say if you had put your trade in to follow that, if you were following this and you knew market structure and candles, then you could have profited by getting out of this high and pocketing on the low. Because you see, there was the high here, it slammed all the way back up to here, came to this exit to where it stopped, and then it continued to go down. So this is where people, if they don't know, you could have still held your coins off of the market. They will fluctuate. They will go down in price, but then look at this elevation, this impulse up, this trend up. It went back up to 66,000, peaked to high on November 21st at 68,000. Now we're looking at this downtrend, and this is to test the market. So now people that had went down and said, man, it dropped all the way down to 14,000. Excellent. I was on the horn. Buy. This move up, you could have collected all of these profits and just let the coin sit. I'm going to show you how to open up a Coinbase account to use your coins and to transfer, do everything to have safekeeping. Okay, I'm going to teach you how to invest into what I call a crypto IRA. If you find that you have enough profits that you can get some disbursements from those IRAs, you can then store them in your wallet, and that's your Engrave wallet, and then you can spend them like you would spend money. But what I usually do is when I run out of my physical cash, then I go back and I can transfer my coins and convert them back into fiat money. So then we're looking at where the coin sits today, and that's at 43,000. Now, what I'm going to show you here is my history of my movements in the market. So this is my history. Oops, let me go back and show this. So as you can see, I opened my account. I had $50. I've been trading on pocket options for almost 5 years now. So I had $50 in an account. When they opened up this platform of MetaTrader 5, I was like, oh, this is great. I can stop losing on the not knowing side and get on to the knowing side and trade in a field that I was taught in Forex. So now we can trade these coins, futures, indices, stocks in pips. And I'll be teaching you about pips and what the exact meaning and how one move, if this moved $1, I can show you how just that single move from $1 can put thousands of dollars into your pocket. So these are my trades. I still have some things to work through. My mindset. That's what I'll be teaching how to deal with this learning curve that we tend to have when learning a new skill or a job or whatever. And follow through, follow with me, because if you start today, we're coming up on a new year. That's why I am finally launching and opening my company, the Living Legacy Group. It's a network marketing company. I believe in network marketing because it works. Amway, Herbalife, Mary Kay, Tupperware. These companies have been thriving for years. So that's why I'm teaching you network marketing, because you might not want to trade. Well, what if you want to sell cosmetics or diet stuff? You can make a side income from doing these things. I'm an affiliate marketer. I can teach you how to affiliate market. That's what the whole thing about the Living Legacy Group is, gathering people in a group, and we figured this wealth thing out. We shorten that wealth gap. I'm tired of being on the other side. I want to be on the side of the wealthy, and I follow traders like Kelly OG, and I went through a year of IM Academy, watching all their educators, make millions. I'm going to have special guests on the channel that will share the insights on how you can become a trader and how not to blow accounts and things like that. So I'm getting way off course. We're coming down into the hours where I'm going to now fire up the trading. See, yep, they're live now. So we will be going into Trader TV Live, and we'll be looking at things on the market. Minimize this. I'm going to keep my screen open. It runs all day. I pop in every once in a while to share some insights on whatever's happening in the market. This is live. This is not like Cody, and like this one guy says, you're just like this guy or that guy, the same people on pocket options. Well, I'm not. Let me chill that out for a second. So let's see. Let me skip these things here. Have you noticed YouTube started putting new? For the moment here on the NQ. Okay. Big move down at the moment. Now we're popping here up on the back of the 5-year. All right. So we're gonna watch Trader TV Live. That came in at 1 o'clock. It was met with good demand, and the Nasdaq was trading at least moments ago near the highs at that 17,125, coming back down now below 17,1. So we'll have the big kahunas look at that. But yeah, we'll have a look at Bitcoin as well. Bitcoin is up 2.5% in the yields, the 10-year and the 2-year, both to the downside as equity markets find higher ground. All right, let's get to the first item on the watch list. Tesla up again nicely, over 2% on the back of news that the revamped Model Y will be coming out of China soon. We saw pictures and videos about that. We showed you that on the midday show. Is up over 2%, doing that dance at 262, guys. Hello, welcome back.
Yeah, welcome back. That was, I mean, the timing of that move in the futures right now was wild. Anyone that was just watching the markets, you saw that. Like, we were kind of holding consolidation at the top, and then we flipped over until the afternoon show, and it's like someone flipped the switch, and consolidation was broken to the downside. So just a couple things. Like, I'm in 2 shorts, but got a quick bounce in Apple, which I quickly took some out of because that was a wild move back into the downside. We can get to Tesla this morning. What's weird about Tesla is it didn't participate this afternoon in the ramp that you had to the upside. It ends up just basically holding the channel. So Tesla, this is the channel that it's been in. The daily chart even shows you the nice consolidation above the channel I've been watching, which is the lower highs on the daily. It finally broke the 260 level, so been looking for that break for a while. Should have easily also, I mean, you could have easily had 258 as well, but 260 was the jam for me. Because of that $2 range, my target was just to, when it got to 262, make sure we take it out and take the profit. So it was one in, a couple of outs. It's weird to me that it when the market retook the high, it's weird to me that Tesla never broke 263. You would have thought that would be a given, but it's also not really falling with the market as well as the market just pulled back in. So Tesla's range is good. It's holding the bull flag. If the market makes a bounce off the bottom, maybe Tesla 261 can come into play. But I can't believe we're right back down at the lows. Like, that's absolutely hilarious. I'm only in Nikola and Affirm to the short side. And I'll tell you, about 5 minutes ago, I was thinking that those were going to at some point take out the top.
Yeah, that's it's a funny day here right now.
Hilarious.
We're just doing sort of the same thing that we've been doing all day here. Look at Snapchat. We just reshorted that one. We talked about, someone asked it in the midday show. Thank you for asking what I was doing. I mean, here's short Snapchat, here's short Snapchat, here's short Snapchat. Again, we just came back into VWAP, so we'll watch out for that one. We've been shorting Palantir as well. There's a short in Palantir. There's another short we just took right now on Palantir as well to the downside. And then we've been long in Apple. We were short Apple ahead of VWAP, and then we got that news right around 11:30, 11:45, and then all of a sudden off to the races. And of course, as per usual, we are very, very light now. We're about 20% or so. Still want to hold Apple, see if we can get a little bit longer here in this name, as we have really dipped down now in the NASDAQ. We'll have to find an area maybe to buy some more in Apple. But yes, sir, Snapchat printing a dime piece right now, Palantir printing as well. And then we had Tesla earlier, and Tesla is the #1 stock on the show, going long at 260 right there, all the way up to the upside. It was an absolute monster trade. We just should have reshorted it. Let's see what happens now. Tesla's still super strong. It's the #1 name wherever it is here on the sticky note for long 260. So I hope y'all have that one. That was a good one. And again, kind of gave you a chance to reload it right there. But we're always waiting for this 200 period. The problem is now we're underneath it. So let's wait to see if the NASDAQ has legs. Great. And that's good for us, as we are long the biggest and the baddest name, I think, now in the market with Apple. I just feel like this one has, obviously, unless we hear something about the ban, sort of, apparently it was like overturned there. So, you know, we're going to wait. But that's, you know, they still got it, like, oopsies. Like Sharif mentioned there, they're going to take a minute to figure this all out. So I don't know if this means they can immediately start to sell the watches again or what. But for right now, the NASDAQ just heads right back down to the bottom. We've got some pretty good shorts on, as well as this Apple long from days. So Apple, nice trade. We'll see where it can go from here, though.
That we're looking at here. Apple wins bid to pause Apple Watch ban at U.S. Appeals Court. Earlier in the day, we had reported to you that Apple was asking the Federal Circuit to pause the ban at least until the U.S. Customs and Border Protection decides whether the redesigned versions of its watches actually infringe on Massimo's patents, and to put the ban.
We gotta go back.
No, he thought that
I gotta go back.
Homemade would win. Plus, I'm just.
All right, let's fix this for a second. Let's fix this right now.
I think I missed this part of the podcast. So watch about the first half. So
because I'm watching it live on my monitor.
I need to go back and.
All right. December 28th. This is where we want to be. Includes paid promotions. So yeah, YouTube is now running 2 ads back to back before you can actually get into Come on, thingy. Refresh again. Try it. Waiting for this to, there we go. Now let's see if this is the right one.
Participate
Yep.
here, but this
is
47 break I think is another one that we have to take. So I said yesterday all I want for Christmas is a Roblox upgrade. So let's see if we can get through 47 without anything significant. If we had something on Roblox today, I guarantee you this name would have been screaming. It's down though today, down 0.5%. So this name is a little worried, but I do like Roblox breaking through 47. Just not as excited about it as Microsoft.
All right, guys, Adara's at the big board. She's got upgrades and downgrades.
Wisdom Tree here getting an upgrade from North Coast. Lightspeed we also have here trading a little bit higher after getting an upgrade from BTIG Research. Chubb getting an upgrade from HSBC Securities. And Freshworks getting an upgrade from Needham. For downgrades, Match Group over here getting a downgrade from KeyCorp. And these next three all holds for some insurance-related names from HSBC Securities. Allstate with a hold here with a price target of 145. Progressive getting initiated, price target of 164. And last but not least, Travelers over here also getting initiated by HSBC Securities, guys.
Usually on the upgrades and downgrades, I'm telling you, we can find like one or two. I'm like, okay, that's an interesting, I know a level here on that stock, or I like the stock, or own it, or have a look. I gotta admit, don't have anything on that one. And yes, it was pointed out in the chat, I did let the 187 reference go. I usually let that one go. We'll make some other references. I'm not gonna, if a stock gets to 42, or if I have a chance at like 34.50, I'll haul those numbers out. But there is a name that I can maybe pivot to here, Affirm. If we're talking about things that are at monster highs or lows, Affirm broke that the key 52 level just barely yesterday and then had a pullback day. Now, I'm cheating to make this look like a nice smiley face. It is a smiley face on the chart. But when you pull back, you realize, oh yeah, that's right. This move from 10 to 50 isn't quite so impressive if you actually bother to include the peak at 2021. That said, it's at the monster level. I think when you get to a level like this, usually you're expecting a little bit of a dip. There was a huge dip the first time. Even if there's a moderate dip off 52 after failing a double top today, I think you could see the 49s here on Affirm. So I am looking for shorts again underneath the 52. We're short that at the tops yesterday. I think you'll look for the same thing here on Affirm. You know there aren't going to be a lot of upgrades and downgrades and catalysts. We were actually just talking about that with regards to Roblox. Like the key thing about when you're looking for a breakout trade is for a squeeze, people need to be covering shorts for it to go. When you have a resistance level, in order for it to make the big run, you've got to get through all of the supply that's at that price level, and sometimes you need something to happen for it. So yes, maybe Roblox breaks that, maybe Affirm breaks this 52.50, but without a catalyst, I think you look for that supply zone, at least on Affirm, I'm a little more bearish there. You look for it to be a short opportunity. And if you get an inside day in the market, that's probably your only trade on the key level, is to try to make that little bit of a fade. So we'll go back to the well on Affirm. Today, no upgrade or downgrade there. Probably hasn't been on one in a while. Although I can see some downgrades on this stock in the new year, just given the rally. It's up like 5x, man. Usually that's when you start seeing some people adjust some targets.
Oh yeah, I've already. For Affirm, I already mentioned it. I think it has a 3 handle on it in January, so I feel like this is a good opportunity to get some puts on that one. You know, another high-flying name that's sort of coming back in as well is Carvana. Carvana up to $60 there, sort of wick some highs, 62.50. I mean, what a great name this was, breaking through that $40 level there. This is another one, just because we're talking about some names that could fall back in. You're falling into 50 again, and I feel like this is worth buying. So again, if you do get, I'm with the short on Affirm. I pretty much try to short it all the time. Sometimes get run over. That can be a dangerous stock for sure, and so can this one. So you got to watch out for Carvana. It's not halting or anything now because again, you know, a 10% move on a $60 name, it's probably not going to be happening. Well, it could. Who knows? But I like this $50 area here for a possible buy in CVNA. So I'm still impressed with this Moderna. I mean, I can't believe I didn't pull the trigger down there, but Moderna up to, oh, it's coming back in a little bit here. Moderna, I want to watch. This name is, my daily chart didn't change. There it is. So here comes Moderna. Again, this is going to be another level. We talked about this. We talked about 105.50, 106. You know, so that's going to be possibly a short. As now it's down to 101. That's why I'm like kind of like, eh. But this could be another short area here for Moderna. 106 or so off of a monster run in the last couple of days, up about 20%. So Moderna right there, 106 for a possible fade. That's that was a trade that I was looking at for one of these high flying names.
All right, guys, let's have a look at the futures and see what to expect here on the ES 48.34. That's where we closed out yesterday. We're a few points below that right now at 48.30. The overnight low, 48.29. The overnight high, 48.41. I'm going to say look for resistance at 48.50 and look for support at that 48.20 area. That is kind of the lower end of the range that we got into yesterday, but incrementally making our way up here on the ES after that big down day last week, guys. Good look on the futures. We'll see. Wait to see what happens there. All right, let's get to the watch list and talk about everything you need to know. First on the list, Microsoft. Mentioned this one at the top of the show. They are being sued, in addition to OpenAI, by the New York Times, alleging that they are using their intellectual property without paying them. So OpenAI responded, said that they are committed to working with all authors and news outlets to advance this technology. There is a parallel suit right now that was already filed by certain writers. They hired the Sossman Godfrey law firm, which is the law firm that represented Dominion Voting Systems in their huge win over Fox News for over $750 million. OpenAI has responded saying that they have attempted to settle in the past and they're going to continue to work so. But Microsoft gapping up still on that Wedbush upgrade, guys.
If you're not being sued, then you're not doing it right as a Mag 7 company. So as you mentioned just there at the end, and you know, you're very likely to get some kind of a settlement because I mean OpenAI has already tried to make some kind of settlement. So I think they're acknowledging that at some point, you know, there's a framework for the use of others' content that is created and curated and all that other stuff is going to be important. That said, you know, Microsoft, it's had this 375 challenge over and over again the last 2 days. We like these close prices when they show you key price levels, and you've had a 375 close both on Friday and then on Monday you closed there. You opened and failed it at 75. If it can break out off this level, it's just got some room to run. It has not really been participating. It's just holding this lower high. If you're gonna get the market rallying today, you know, Apple showing some signs of strength after yesterday on the news. I think Microsoft participating would definitely help it. You are not rolling over, you are breaking down slightly here, and I would watch for some of the imbalances. We've had a couple of days in the last week, I guess on lighter volumes, where you've seen these spikes right at about 9:25, right before the market opens on some imbalance plays. And usually, if it's a big one, there's been these great retracements. So in the back of my mind, like we saw it on Apple a couple of days ago, in the back of my mind, if I see that happening on a couple, I want to have a few ideas out there. One of those would be like back into like 374 even or 373 even on Microsoft, only because those levels are so defined. Like a double bottom on the even, and then you can see on the 15-minute, the 374 has got significance as well. So if there was an imbalance play, I'd be open to a scalp trade if it tries to bounce off either of those even dollar levels. But I'm kind of ignoring the news and just looking at the charts today on Microsoft. Sure, a lawsuit bad, but it doesn't mean the stock can't go up.
Yeah, stock is basically flat with the market right now. The market is pulling back in, obviously, here a little bit. I mean, it's going to look more dramatic than it is. I mean, it's only 15 handles to the downside, but Microsoft is saying, hold my beer. Shout out to Hold My Beer in the chat. Yeah, so I was just saying, like, I still really love this name long. I mean, if you're able to get this at 373, then that's that would be real good. So like it down there. Love the. I mean, I've already sort of talked about this. You can go find it here if you're looking for a little bit of explanation. It's a sticky note. It's out right now, and it's the #1 idea. It's a 376 long break. We talked about why we liked it right here. We talked about it. I just saw coin yesterday at 180 and sort of put like an LOL there. This is a $370 name, so you could get a decent break to the upside, but then lack of a catalyst, right? I mean, it's a Thursday. This probably will be the lightest volume day, maybe of the week. So I'm not super excited about the break, but if it's there, and I want to take it because yesterday I was hesitant for similar reasons on Coinbase where I thought, does it really want to take 180? And then it went to 187. And I was watching, crypto was fine, but it wasn't necessarily flying. So again, we get an upgrade today. So I like the space. I'm willing to dip by Apple, which I have some bids on right now, and Alibaba. Maybe I should put one here. It's just if we lose this 373 area, then there's a problem, and the market would probably be down probably 1% maybe at that point, or I don't know, close enough to that. So I'm going to watch out for this. I'm going to put a bid now that I look at this. I don't think we're going to get it. I never even thought we would, but maybe we will. 373.50 on Microsoft is where I'm going to bid. So I'll deal with the problem if and when we get down there. But for right now, that's where I'm bidding. And we are going to talk about Apple soon, so I'll leave that for then. But Microsoft, like it. At least there's a catalyst of some sort. But Wedbush, I don't know, man.
Model S Plaid, Porsche Taycan, watch out. Here comes the Xiaomi Suki, SU7, pronounced Suki in Mandarin. Here it is. This is supposed to have range of around 628 kilometers to about 800 kilometers, about 390 miles or so. For the base range, it's supposed to rival the Model S, Plaid, and the Taycan in terms of acceleration and some other features. And then, yes, as typical now with most new EVs, it is filled with screens, both front and back. It's supposed to begin deliveries and production in 2024. There is no price as of yet, but market participants saying that this is going to be around the same price as the Model S Plaid, give or take a few thousand, guys. What's the look here for Tesla?
You know, I actually we saw like the new NIO vehicle, NIO's new vehicle yesterday. I think we were showing it off.
Yeah, it was
I like
nice.
that. I kind of like. I'm still putting that one ahead. So look, we already know that Tesla faces some pretty stiff competition in China. This isn't necessarily anything new. So there's margin concerns. You still have some talking heads. I saw another one come out saying, "What does Tesla have that Toyota doesn't have?" And I'm like, I don't know, full self-driving, Elon Musk. We could go on about that, but it's the same thing. So forget about valuation. It finally broke out of the channel, at least attempted to make a decent breakaway from this channel that we've been sort of drawn for a while. And now you're above the 260 level. When you break a resistance like this, I look for that to become support. So longs over it is the general sense until you get to the 270, and then there's the 280 level up there. So each of those peaks has been pretty significant. You're $5 away if you break out the top today from that. I already have the previous close marked off because on dip buys in Tesla, I like that level, but don't ignore the supply at 263 that was there. So if there's a dip in Tesla, I just want to grip and rip. So it's 263, 261 half, or 260. Those are the three prices that makes sense to me for a dip. And then as always, if we're talking about Tesla, I'm always going to go to Rivian. Like Rivian and Apple for short to the open. I guess we'll talk about Apple in a second. Rivian faded despite Tesla's strength, and it faded off the $24 level. So it's got a bigger level at 24.60. I think that's where the big breakout could be on Rivian next year through 24.60, or maybe, I don't know, today or tomorrow. But the 24 level has been a good resistance zone. I think until it breaks it, that's a shortable level for me, just like yesterday.
Yeah, no FOMO on anything for EV for me. I'm stuck in some Fisker. This stock really sucks. Obviously down to 150. I don't even know what's happening with this one. GM and Ford. Ford continues to make some moves.
Want coffee?
So no, I got to go for a walk in a second, anyways. Thanks. We're switching up some coffees right now. All right. Oh man, we have that big. What is going on with these charts? Man, are the charts on holidays? Did Ford just IPO or something? Ford just IPO'd at 12:30 there, so I'm not sure. Okay, forget it. All right, I'll probably, if I just refresh the charts, it'll probably be fine. But no, you know what? Look, yesterday Tesla, boom, we hit the 260. The 260 yesterday was the number one trade here on the show, period, P&L wise, and it bounced off 260 again. So look, you know, yesterday, the 260 was the catalyst for me, just breaking through that level. I feel like we might have had an upgrade yesterday or something. Oh no, there was the redesigned Model Y, the updates on the Model Y. That's what sparked it yesterday. Today, I don't really see similar news, but this bottom, like Neil just mentioned, 263, I mean, it's looking pretty good. I'm gonna say no to it though. Tesla's up 1%. If it comes into this area, I think we can probably fall into where VWAP probably needs to be around 262. So I think we could start buying this name around 262, but it's up 1% and the market's going the other way. So this is also another break candidate long. I just don't wanna be stuck long with a catalyst that I can't find. So I'm going to wait on it. So for me, Tesla today, although it goes yesterday, look, yeah, I mean, it'd be hard to see this, but yesterday it was number one. Yeah, it's hard to see. You won't be able to see it. It was number one on the sticky note. Today, I don't even have it on, and it's not even really on my radar until we get back down into 260. There it is. Into 263. What's up? See? There we go. Into 263. That's going to be a good level, but I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait for that. Now closer down to 260. I think I like that name. Remember, if the market falls like it's doing right now, Tesla has a ways to go. Like it's up 1%. So if weakness comes into this name and the market falls, you will see that 260. So we're going to wait to see if that comes through for Tesla. I still like it. I made the call down there at 220 that we could see 280 by year end. We're percentage points away from that. Now, let's see if we can get there on Tesla. I still like the name, but I like NIO better at $9.
We broke this news story to you yesterday on the midday show. Apple winning its appeal at the U.S. Court of Appeal for the Federal Circuit yesterday. It will be able to sell its Apple Watch 9 and Apple Watch Ultra 2 at least until January 10th, when the ITC, the International Trade Commission, will have to make its decision. Apple coming in saying overnight that it is reportedly redesigning components of the watch to allow for it to continue to sell without any further intervention by them. It should be noted that the section of wearables that Apple sells last year, or this year actually, amounted to about $39.8 billion in sales. That doesn't just include the Apple Watches, it's home devices as well as AirPods, etc. But a large revenue generator for them guys, Apple gapping up.
You know, the funny thing about Apple moving here was I just called this up because I wanted to look at the volume yesterday when this actually happened. It's too bad that our trades don't show our ticks from yesterday still. I was caught short here underneath VWAP because I wanted to play Apple short. I said that in the beginning of the show that I wanted to be short until we got the news. And again, the word catalyst seems to be like something that I'm overusing today, but that's really what we need to look for right now is what are the catalysts in some names. Apple controls a lot. I mean, it's 51% of what this, like, it actually is even a higher percentage in the S&P than we even think because of how much of it's in Berkshire. So the thing is that if this market's going to continue its little rally up, it does kind of need to be helped with Apple. It's just we are bumping our head against that 200 again at some point where that's going to happen. And it's kind of like there right now, 194, right? 195. But the thing is that I was caught short under VWAP. This is why we use VWAP. And then we got out and then we just punched long, man. And we had quite a nice move all the way back up. And we took big time advantage of that and hit this long yesterday on that Apple ban pause. So I like the story. The fact that it's coming in now makes it even better. I'm bidding 193 flat, well, 193.11s, whatever. Hopefully that comes in there today, and we just hit 193.40. So I like the long here on Apple. I think the catalyst is there. They can now resume selling these watches. Do I think that it's going to be the ultimate resolution? No. I mean, they're going to have to come up with something. And when they do, it's just going to be a win for Apple. It doesn't even matter what the resolution is. As long as they can keep selling the watch, it doesn't how much money they pay. They're sitting on part of the problem.
As long as they don't buy them.
Yeah, part of the problem is that they're sitting on so much cash. that it's like they could just pay them out. They could buy them. They can give a they could give a royalty to these guys. Like whatever, man. Apple's gonna still continue to win. Their wearables are huge. Their iPads are huge. Their earphone things are huge. AirPods. The thing's going to be great. Wait until people get their hands on. It's too expensive, but that's not going to matter to a lot of people. Wait till they get their hands on the Vision Pro. I like Apple here, and if Warren likes it, I like it. So
There you go.
that's our guy.
I will say I don't want them to buy them. That's the only thing I'll throw. I don't. I'm talking about Massimo there. We showed Massimo and how much that stock absolutely flushed on that news when it did come out. Now, I said this yesterday. I thought two stocks were shorts. Apple was one of them, and I think the short levels just become the long levels today. So that was off the open right at that 193. It was a short into here. I played the reversal. The news came out there. That's the first opportunity after the flash move was right underneath 191.75. So I went into the long here at 60s and then re-entered it above VWAP. I think if you even sniff those levels, that's a buy zone. But that being said, I think, just underneath 193, the morning level short was afternoon support. I think you dip by Apple. It's reversing that trend. When I look at the 15-minute, it was in a downward trend off the 200. There is a support level broken yesterday for the short, regained, and then comes back in. So you have a liquidity grab underneath support, and then if you can hold on to support, I think you can rally to the upside. It even sets it up for a potential 194 break here today. And there's a lot of room for this to get back up on Apple. As far as Massimo goes, it's not a stock that we've traded before, but if you keep your ear to the ground here, let's say there's a resolution that is seen as very good for Apple. Well, just remember how bad this dropped to the downside when that news hit. Like it dropped $8, like $8 on $120 stock. So if we do hear flash news on Apple, probably won't be today, but sometime early next year, I think in the back of your mind, if you can get an early move on Massimo, it looks like it can pay off for you.
All right, next on the list here, guys, crypto. A big day for Mara yesterday. What a rocket ship that was, off that 27.5, touching 32 at the highs. Giving back a little bit right now, 7 1/3 to the downside for Mara. Coinbase not faring much better either, about 3 2/3 to the downside for Coin, rejecting that 187 level. That's all on the back of Bitcoin, giving about 2% here, 1.9% to the downside, Neil. But I got to mention that ETH running in the opposite way today. ETH above that 2380 area, looking to take 24. It's up 1.15%. Any look on these crypto-related names?
Yeah, absolutely. And we talked about there being a huge move. And for those of you in the Breakfast Club, shout out to everybody if you're in here early. I'm just going to quickly show, because at the time when this move was happening on Mara, tweeted this out as it was going to the downside, big dip on Mara, some support at 28 and just underneath the 29 area as it was sort of falling. Like it was just breaking down the 29 area as it was starting to go. And you can see like a couple of minutes later, it bounces clean off 28.01 and then rounds out into here, 29.75. So the last kind of consolidation off $30 on Mara was able to bounce into 31 off that level. So I usually look at big support levels, which was the midday support level, to turn into resistance. I think Mara can be a fade up in that range, probably was one early, and your 28 is a big line in the sand. If it can't hold on to 28, I think it is reasonable that you could pull back even further. Next level, I think as Sean mentioned, like 26. I have 25.5. I had it marked off. I don't know why I didn't save, but 25.5 was also support. So you could see 10% moves on this stock, like has been the normal, to be honest with you. Like the norm has been 10% on Mara has been an easy thing. So if it goes down 10%, I don't know why anybody would be shocked. So you got the key levels, 28, 29.75 into 30. And just one more for you, because it's been a little bit crypto adjacent, Square. That $80 break might have to wait. There's another one, it was this and Roblox. A couple of things that were at pretty key levels looking to break out some tops. But with this pullback, that might just have to be put on the back burner for a little bit. But it is still near the front of the mind here. Square at a huge level on the daily chart, just can't seem to break through. What are you going to do? That's what happens. Like when a stock gets to the price, you just got to be ready for it to go. you don't know the day or the moment it's going to break a key level. It could happen at the open. It could happen at 11 o'clock. It could happen at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It's just a day trader. You just hope it doesn't happen overnight. That's all.
Yeah, that's the best thing about crypto is you can just get in and out if you're trading the actual coins. But all right, so look, it's been 2 days in a row that we had, basically $7 to $9 moves that we had those exact prices. At least this move we took. This was 2 days ago where we went short right here at 178. I was able to get out at 175. Shout out to Zoltan who held it all the way down to 171. But again, that's $7, and then down here to 169 is $9 if you held the bottom. And then yesterday, as it was written, we had 180 on the sticky note, but didn't take it. I talked about it live, and we should have taken it. And then all of a sudden, it ripped to 186.50 within a couple of 10, 30 minutes, right? So, again, this name is going to give you a lot of opportunities. It's Coinbase, right? So it's only down 3.5%. Obviously, it's not down huge, but you are getting into this 176 area where we could hold. I'm a little bit nervous about Bitcoin. It is starting to turn on its head a little bit here. And I said this yesterday. I said you may want to, the ratio of Bitcoin to Ethereum had gotten overextended to the bullish Bitcoin side. So if you play the two of them, you could have rotated into one and out of the other. Now, I don't know what Ethereum's doing today, but you could see Bitcoin right now down 1% and looking like it wants to get going. And I said this before as we zoom this out, there's really no support until like 41 and change. So, that's another $1,000. I said 1,800 down from here gets you that 41 or so. So that's kind of where I'm thinking we could get to. And if that happens, then you could say sayonara, see you later to Coinbase. Because again, this name is just being bought up on a lot of hype and stuff like that. We've talked about some of the reasons why people are buying up Coinbase, and it does make sense. But again, on an outsized move, things have to come back in. It's just the law of reality maybe, and stocks, like they get over pushed, right? Coinbase's short float is huge. And then when you get names like ARK coming in and kind of buying it nonstop, that's why when you're looking at ARK and you're saying, oh my God, they're up so huge. This is the number one holding, Coinbase. It's a 14% short float. So, that makes a lot of sense. I'm waiting for that day. Maybe it already happened. Maybe I missed it. But she's eventually going to be selling this position, and I believe she probably already has. So I look out for a Coinbase little whoosh down when we get that news that ARK is loosening the cables on this.
Guys, Chinese ADRs as a group, all higher. Every single one on my watch list except for DI. Every one of them is higher. Let's have a look at how BABA is doing here. Up nicely on the day, 1.5%. This is all coming from a report saying about $1.9 billion or 13.5 billion yuan found its way into Chinese equities last week amid favorable policy expectations and the market's low valuations of these ADRs. PDD doing quite well as well, 1.14% to the upside, but Baidu taking the cake here, 2% and change. Any look on these ones, guys?
Taking the cake, why not? Or, I don't know, taking the fritter, taking the apple pie. I just find a lot of things are better than cake, but that's just me. It's an interesting saying, but most people I know, they prefer like a lot of other pastries as opposed to cake, although I like that cake show. Is it cake? My daughter's into that one as well. BABA, I think the two names I like the most today, I kind of put NEO usually in the EV space a little bit, but BABA and JD, and BABA's more likely to trade at some levels, I think, than JD is going to today. So if you get a dip, we already went over this, but if you get a dip into previous resistance, that's where I'd look for the gap fill on BABA. If there's buyers above 78, then I want to be a joiner into that 80 level here on the daily chart. This is something which is playing catch up to, I guess, the market and a lot of other things. We talk about it being a value because the valuations are absolutely ridiculous. Like if you go to all the metrics, oh my goodness, price to cash, PE, all that stuff, like these stocks you'd think would be a heck of a lot higher. JD falls exactly into that category. It just needs to take out 29.30 up here. It's, as I mentioned, about 75 cents away from that price. So that's a good 2.5%. It's already up 2.5 or 3% right now, so it would need to double that to make a breakout. But it's another big level looking for a break on the daily. And once there's buyers above that price, I think it's got a lot of room to be able to run. Again, some of the best opportunities for longs in terms of percent gain are going to be on beat up stocks. So when they start to go, they're the ones that you want to be involved in. And for NEO, it's still, to me, 950. We had the long the other day when it made the push into 950, and it just needs to take out that level. Closing above the 200 period would be pretty darn nice for NIO. It's had one close above the 200 period since about September.
All right, it's 9:25. I mean, yeah. So, again, NEO should probably be on the sticky note. I have NEO and Roblox that I like that aren't on the sticky note that I like. We hit NEO yesterday, and again, it was the second or third best stock, and it was because we were able to imagine that it was such a top stock, and I was out of it in a couple minutes, and it had this huge whoosh down right off the open, and we were able to get some love in this candle because it was real. We don't have the very bottom of 9. We had like 911s, I believe it was, and when it went back up to 30s, I was really disappointed with NEO because I thought we had a chance to get going through 950 yesterday, and that was actually the break long that I liked. But then when this whoosh happened, we stopped trading it. So we went long, we didn't try it again, but we should have, because again, I remember calling it up and going back over that we had some levels here. Unfortunately, I have to zoom back out there a little bit, but right into here, this 990 level that broke right there and kept going up also held yesterday. So if NEO does dump in, I like. All right, so the other name here is going to be Alibaba. Another name that I like. I'm bidding this right now. This is on the sticky note. I'm bidding it at 76.50. So just yesterday, kind of this where we topped out. It's a nice move upside. It's up 1.5%. If the market flushes, I like it. It's Alibaba. Go long on this name. As again, catalysts, didn't even update my charts. Catalyst really just trying to break through 80 bucks. So I don't really see a specific catalyst for this name, but it's been working out really well. The Chinese economy, we just talked about it. Some of these ADRs are flying around a little bit today. So in trying to get relative weakness, like you're trying to get overperformance, maybe the Chinese names have a little bit of catch up to make. Whether or not you want to put it on your hot dog, and I like mustard, but they could catch up to the rest of this market and eventually take out this 50-period moving average, which I think a lot of people are waiting for there on Alibaba, and that's at 78. So I don't want to push the long on that. Before we go back over to Sharif, we're actually done. I just wanted to see this because there's bets again. It's probably going to test 1 cent. I mean, that would be what? I don't even know the percentage. Is that 20% down?
Yeah, 20% down.
Yeah, so I feel like that's possible. We're down 11 right now, down to 1 could be there. It's just on here. I know you're going to say it's always up here on the top. So that's not going to be, it's already done 175 million. So the fact that it has 1.8, it should actually, as a percentage, it should be like all the way down here. But there's really nothing on here. I just want to talk about that as, we're not getting too much action on the imbalances. So I'm going to close that. Just check out on some of the stocks we know we want to buy. So we want to buy Microsoft on dips. That's kind of not doing anything as the market's trying to retrace. We've got Alibaba, Apple. I'm just looking at some of these names. Roblox. So there goes, there goes Apple. We are bidding Apple down there at 193 flat. It's making a nice move. It bounced off 40s right there. Then the other name that I think is going to break, it got turned down right now. That is Roblox. I'm going to wait for Roblox to do something. It's down 0.6. Yeah, I'm not even bidding 46. Normally that would be a level that I would bid on Roblox because I liked it yesterday and we stayed away. But the reason why is that why is it down so much here today? So let's just see if Roblox deserves a bid down here near 46.20. I could try it, put it there. If it breaks 46, we could get out. So something like that maybe.
Oh, just on alert now. I don't know if
Roblox.
I didn't see it on the imbalance locator as you pulled it up there, so I'm going to assume ARM is just doing this because it's ARM. But it just hit $75, broke 75, new all-time high for ARM. I know it's an IPO, recent IPO, but still an all-time high, so we want to acknowledge that. Look, if this holds 75, it's a blue sky setup. Like there's nothing above here that's going to stand out. Even on a dip, maybe if it dips back in and holds 74.50, I like, generally speaking, the long on ARM. It just didn't set up yesterday. I was expecting a big dip down off the 73.5 the second time through, and it just didn't do it. It actually held 73.5 on a dime. So I was looking for a big dip and rip in ARM. If it does the same thing today, maybe the 74 area or the 75.5. But that has been a good one. It's going to continue to be a winner, I think. But for today on the day trade, if it just starts screaming above 75, I guess we just look for longs into 80. When that's going, it's going to make a good move. Oh, one last one. SoFi, if it comes back down into $10. Probably would like a retest of that level. Why not? Even dollar level, it ran away from it. I'm kind of missing some data, but it was a consolidation off 10. Long got to 10.50. So a 10 o'clock dip and even a 10.50 break in play. As we get to Adara, it is the second last trading day of 2023. And let's get it started in 4, 3, 2, 1. And you know what to do.
I like that. I like that little at the end there. That was pretty cool for sure.
That'll work.
All right. Well, I was watching Apple, hoping for a dip. Ha, that's fun. That's a fun story. There goes Apple, just absolutely ripping to the upside, man. I mean, no love on that one. I just put a bid at 193.60 before the market opened, as we were all talking about.
The market is
there it goes, right up
open.
to the upside. Roblox not doing too much. Microsoft hovering around as well, and not doing the Apple move. That is for sure. But here we go. I am going to take. This is going to be. See what I mean about the liquidity? Like it bounces around 60s, 70s, and here it goes. Looks like we will have an opportunity. Ooh, there goes Microsoft pulling back in a little bit. Yeah, I like the 376 break. On this name, but it just bounced again in and around that 375.50. Maybe we'll start with a small little bid down there and see if we can get some shares before we break. But yeah, nice move up for the market. Looks like it's trying to fade out a little bit right now, though.
Oh, I went to punch ARM and punch
Alibaba,
Tesla
maybe.
instead.
What just happened?
So I just punched in and out of
Microsoft.
Tesla when I meant to go get ARM. So I had to put my window over to Tesla to go deal with it. I was switching at the last second when I saw that move in ARM into 75. It was on the wrong level too. So ARM did dip down into 74.50. So I want to get my bid out here and then give it to this pre-market low at 74.40. Oh, that's gonna suck if that ends up being the bottom.
Oh my God,
That would be
dude.
frustrating.
Oh my.
I know how to do.
God, yes, let's go, man. It's happening again for us. Let's go, man. We're long Microsoft. It's only 40 cents, but we are starting to take a couple pieces out here. If I get one more out, we'll be out of half, and then we'll just see. Like I said, man, this is what we're doing.
Come on,
Trading bigger
Bitcoin.
shares, trying to take pieces out as they continue to move
We're
here.
down $7.
And then, we can hold enough to be wrong, and that's completely fine. I mean, the market just right now is making a move back down, which is why I just said let's get out of half of this. I still like this. Actually, no, it was Apple that I put a tester lower on. Did I put a bid lower on Microsoft? Because I still want to try to buy some here. 376.40. No, that was my high side. The other one is 373.55. Okay, so you're trying to come back in a little
You're
bit
on the
here.
Living
so
Legacy
good. It's a good
live
thing. We
trading
got out of
channel.
About 40% of that, but here it comes falling back in, which is all good. 375 right there. We got to watch out for it losing that, and then 374. Or so, I guess, 374.50.
Like and subscribe. Thanks for
maybe a
stopping
spot
by.
to be worried about,
We'd
but
like
here it
to
comes,
see
battling itself right back to the upside. We'll take a little bit more long if it
type
does
it in
come
the
back
chat,
in
and
and
we'll
around
get it on the
375. 50, but for right now we're long right here right now. It is out of the money 7 cents, but we'll see if it can get going back up to the upside. People excited about Mara, I see.
Yeah, I was about to get to that one, but quickly, Affirm wicked 51 even, so we shorted the pop on Affirm. That was one of the two names we liked to the short side. Just got some out at 50.60 on the 90 fill, and then got Rivian on a pop into 24. So it broke 24, failed underneath, was able to get some 97s. Want to get some out in front of the 80 level. And this Mara, you know what's going to be wild today. There's no question about it. Volatility is going to be in play here on Mara. It didn't quite get up to that 29.75 level, but at the open, but it's got a dollar candle on the opening candle for the first 3 minutes on a $29 stock. If this can take out that top again, I mean, who knows? It was a $2 drop from that level, but I do want to see it buy above $29.75 before I be too invested in that one to the long side. It's frustration, but as I said, sometimes when you make a move late and switch level 2s, I missed the shot there on the dip in ARM. If it comes back in, I'll take another shot here at 74.55. The other chip name we didn't talk about, apologies, AMD. Trying to break through the top. I still favor longs here. I like a dip to 145, we can get it. But if it just grip and rips to 147, that's good too. Just a couple of shorts on for me right now because they were the ones that set up.
Yeah, we only have the long, and we just got some longs on Microsoft that made 50 cents back to the upside again, and we bought some 375 50s, as you guys can see right there. We got some 54s and got it out at 90 there as it's trying to go back up. We're going to hold this to see if we get a 376. But look at this, man. The market is like, if this market was going upside, man, wow, the kind of moves we'd be having, but it's not. So we'll wait for this. I'm going to cancel my app. I mean, I'm still waiting. I still think it's fine. Let's just, oops, I just canceled something on that stock. I need to put another offer because I just canceled it. I was just going to say, let's try to go over some areas of maybe some concern here in case we do lose this. What about just 375? I mean, we've bounced off there a couple times today. You know, I kind of want to hold it a little bit lower, but I haven't really been seeing anything. 374.50, like I was saying, is kind of the level two. So not a level two, but the level that we're looking at. So 374.50. We'll try to buy a little bit more if it does come into 375. Like I said, we're not adding too much onto this position because of the market, quite frankly. But you know, maybe we can get some action here. Yeah, Roblox still at 46.50.
Roblox actually hit 90 for a second there. It made me put my order back in for the breakout trade, but now it's back at 46.50. So Roblox just fell back in again. I get excited. I got excited because I thought it was going to have a chance at a break, and obviously that's not going to be the case. I'm going to get to Rivian because that's threatening a little bit more than Affirm is right now. Rivian just bounced off the 80s and might make another challenge at that 24 level, but Tesla's coming down. So that's actually making me want to add to this position if I can in the 90s. As the market is sliding here, is Apple coming into... There we go. Apple, yeah, forget about Apple. 194. Forget about the dip buy. It's got to be above the 194 on that break. So look for the dip in the 194. You're not going to get those 93s, it doesn't look like.
All right. No, that's what I'm still waiting for, those 93s. We'll see if we can get those back in. But if we get the 93s, and that means that our Microsoft has been squashed. So let's get ready to go. 374. 50 for a drop zone here on this position in case it continues to make this move downside right now. Look, we're comfortable holding it, right? We're long at 91s. It's 50 cents out of the money. Let's wait to see if it continues to work. I mean, will this market bounce? That's the question at this point, right? So I still was feeling bullish today. I still am. We're still above the 50 period. We're still above 17.1. But if we take that 17.1, which is right here, then you're looking at this 17.050. And then when that gets hit, you know, then you're back down here to 17 and change. So Santa's been here, but he might not be here for very long. Let's see if some of these levels can hold out. And again, maybe that catalyst. It's just funny because 376, we talked about that as the long break, and it seems like it was still a very, very good top, man. That 376, some of the levels still being respected. Let's go over to Coinbase here. So 182. So there's the move right back up. Like we said, there's $4 straight back up to the upside right now, and it's bouncing off of its 200 period moving average. So this could be a short for Coinbase. We got to watch out for Bitcoin. 42,800 still for BTC, but this could be a short here at 182.50. It's just, I don't know if I want to stand in the way, man. It can just kill you. Like, there it goes. Like, now it's another three. Like, that's 180 break straight to $3. So again, if you played, and I didn't have it marked down, I talked about it, I didn't love it, but if you had that 180 break again, there's $3. So and you can see by the spread, it's now 50 cents there for a second when it opens up. There's 40 cents right there. So be very, very careful with this name. It's Coinbase, and it's pretty juicy right now.
There was a question in the chat by Skybear that, like, do you use stops? It's like, hell yeah, I use stops because you just said get run over. I was just short 65 into 75 on Mar, that 29.75 level. And if you don't use a stop there, you could lose potentially an extra like 10 cents. So if you're looking to risk 10 to 15 cents, a stop is going to help you to do that. Sometimes it means you get a bad execution out, but that's the price you're willing to pay to mitigate risk. So Mara just went through that 3/4 and it's showing some buying above, but Square or Block is challenging that $80 level. So here we go. I got a wick up to 80.30. So at the open, it kind of broke this level and then opened underneath it is what this candle is telling me, if I can believe that. So it broke out the 80 level. If it can get back above, I think Square can be a long over it. Still just in the two shorts, looking for an Apple dip buy that has not really come into play yet, but I do not want to rush into anything just yet. I think the crypto names are going to be in play for us. No love on SoFi. Unfortunately, it did make a dip, but a dip to 10.20. That's obviously not close enough to $10 to take a long.
Oh man, I'm just writing this down here because I wanted to make sure I don't forget about Palantir. Um, I want to fade this. I really do, and I'm thinking about doing it. But
This
the
is
problem
what I
is
hate.
that I want the market to
Should
rip.
have get out.
Because if it does, man, we will be.
He was right
we
about
won't
the
be doing
stop.
backflips because I clearly can't do that. I would probably hurt myself, and it's not really worth it. But if the market can go back up, Microsoft's going to rally. But this is
CGI.
Yeah, CGI.
I'm waiting for it to go back up.
Oh yeah.
Or
Yeah.
CGI.
Gotta
Yeah.
go back up.
No.
This
It's
green
CGI.
cloud
I'll do a
tells
backup
me
on the green screen.
that it may find this right here.
Right there, 1770. This is a level that I like, man. It's had a huge move to the upside, really bought off that support again, and this is where we got out yesterday. But look at it continuously working back up to the upside right now as Palantir does say hold my beer, and I believe it is probably, you're going to hear that there's been some buying in Palantir here this morning, and it was probably by someone that may or may not have just fake called us. So we'll wait to see what happens with Palantir. Already done 4 million shares. It's a huge move to the upside. I think it's worth a fade. I may take it
It's time
small
to
against
learn how to
against
trade, man.
1780
Come on,
right
join
now.
me.
But
Thanks
realistically,
for
my eye
joining.
just keeps looking over here at Microsoft as it's not doing a whole heck of a lot. I feel good about getting some of
Write
these
in the
out
chat
now,
if there's a pair
especially that
that you'd like
reloaded
to see.
position. But right now, you're just kind of dancing, and unfortunately, we never got that fill down here as we were at 75.02. It didn't get that low, so that's what we're watching out for. Oh, don't even tell me. I got out of HUD 8. Like, what is this stock? Okay, it's still up. Nicely, but actually no, today it's down. Actually, sorry, it's still better than where I got out, so that's why I was like, oh, okay. But anyways, HUD 8 down 9, and Mara, of course, as Neil looked at that, that's up to 30 again, so that's another key level. We talked about that the last couple of days. What's up, A?
Yeah, overall Chinese ADR strength has the theme. One of the themes of the day, as mentioned in the rundown. FUTU, another Chinese ADR running to the upside, almost up almost 6% right now. So watch FUTU, guys.
FUT moving. Baba was almost, see, again, these breakouts, man, like it just couldn't break 78. It goes to 77.80. I'm going to cancel the dip buy for a second, but I thought we were going to get the breakout at 78, and then it turned right around. JD.com was the other one that I was looking at. There we go. It's actually close to the 29.30 level. It entered a third time. Still favor that one for a breakout through that 29.30 if it can get there. Affirm made a challenge right back into that the ones. I did not get filled up here as it got to 50.85 in turnaround. I do look for a reload in Affirm if we can grab something on the lower high. And got to watch out for Rivian. Rivian came right back into that 24. Faded off of like 97. I got 96s and 92s on the way down, but this could take out the top. Sometimes you don't want to be more aggressive the second time through. That can come to bite you in the butt. It might happen here for me on Rivian. As Apple, sometimes you just gotta really grit your teeth. VWAP doesn't matter this early to me, but you're getting a bounce off the quarters. I'm not really gonna get a shot at this 194, it doesn't seem. So I know we like strength in this name, it's just not really giving me the fills that I would like for those longs. And yes, I know Sing is CING, I guess we'll call it Sing, is making some, I don't know if that's actually how you pronounce it. It is halted at $12, sorry, $11.92 with a tap at $12. It's the first halt of the day to the upside. Let's see where this one can go. I think I mentioned the pre-market high at 15. I was corrected overnight and early in the pre-market, like from 4 to 6. It actually touched 22, so correction there. We only chart things from usually like 6 or 7 o'clock here at Day Trade the World, but you're right, it got to like 22. So there are some levels up there on this stock, but it's at 12 right now.
I'm watching Apple, dude. Okay, so Sharif just reminded me about Apple, but really I'm only in one trade right now. And Microsoft just came back to flat and didn't go. It went back to 375.90 and was just, see, right here, it was just bouncing around. Literally 90s, right where we're in. So come on, Microsoft, there is a seller here. Like every time it tries to go, the offer is stacking up a little bit here. Can't break it. I don't know, man. I don't want to get out because I know once I get out, it probably flies.
That's what happens.
But let's just
That
continue to
happens
wait on
all
it
of the
and try to
time.
find something else. A name that obviously I'm going to try to short Affirm as well. I was looking at Shopify possibly at $78 there for Shop. Looking like it may want to break. I don't know what some of these charts, but there it is right there, 78.50. This kind of a top here for Shopify. So we've now oops, there it is. Okay, good. We've now broken below 78. So I was thinking like a little bit of a bump up anywhere into here, 78.60 or so, possibly a decent short. And again, we want to try to short names that are a week, right? I mean, and right now Shopify is down while the market's up. So that's going to be one of those cases. I know Sharif was just mentioning Apple, but I just want to tell you it's not super moving. I did have a bid at 194.11 that I canceled, which I should not have. We would have got filled right there at 10s, but that doesn't matter. Here it goes right now. Apple possibly a break long through 194.70 here as it's trying to go back up to the upside. So let's wait to see what happens. 194.70 possible break long now on Apple. I don't want to be long Apple and Microsoft, especially at not a great price for Microsoft and now buying the tops here for Apple. But yeah, I feel like this is worth a shot. I'm going to do it. 194.70. Yeah, I got
It's like
it.
the only big cap name that, okay, it's maybe not the only big cap name, but it is one of the only ones that looks like a long. Although there is something which is trying to get back above 147. That's AMD. This was another strong stock this afternoon. Sorry, yesterday in the afternoon. Maybe it will be today in the afternoon. I have no idea. But for now, if it can get back and show some actual buyers above 147, I want
the market turn around
But the
again.
market's just flushing. Like nothing is holding out and looking like the long that I want to just jam into. So I have a couple of shorts on, and one of them's not even working at the moment, which is Rivian. The initial short was good, but the secondary is not playing out at all. So I'm looking for something else that could be a fade that is looking weak, and I'm just not necessarily seeing it. If anyone tracking Neo, it's at 950. Okay, this was at 930, like 15 seconds, like a minute ago. But it's at that 950 level. Neo is absolutely flying. I guess this.
Oh no.
I know it was at 910 at the open, and now it's going to make this 950 play. That's a huge resistance level on Neo. You know what? If it dips off of this level, I might just go long into it as well.
Oh man. Yeah. No. I mean,
On huge volume too. Like the volume's.
I was bidding 895 on NIO,
Huge
but
volume.
that's not going to work out. And again, look what just happened here for Softy. It doesn't matter. It's just, it stopped again right where we're long. And now here comes the fall. I'm just pretty nervous about averaging in too much into this name. So Tesla found support. Okay, I mean, this is what we're trying to do, is try to find names that maybe are on, that are on some kind of support. There's 363. I mean, this was, again, the level that I said we would wait to see if there's any.
Roblox broke?
No, I don't even have that bid out for yeah, it did. It's right here at 47 right
goodness.
now.
Yes, it did.
Okay, so we'll go long at
Neil's
O's
gonna break
here
too.
on Roblox, and I like Roblox here, but I'm not, again, to be all this long when the market's not really doing too much. But there's Tesla. We talked about 263 it coming right back into it, and congratulations anybody that has that, because you are now, not me, you are now part of the Dollar Club on that take there on Tesla. I didn't notice Roblox, so it's a good thing you mentioned it. I just went over there and punched in. So we're now long 47. I've liked that break. A little bit of a dip back into VWAP would not surprise me, as this market, I don't know if we should even be going long right now. The market is getting hit a little bit here. And like we said, we could turn red. We're looking up for that 17.1 hold. We just got it at 17.2. VWAP for Roblox, in case anybody's looking at it, 46.80 or so. It's kind of just mishmashed in here, but it's in and around this
I
area.
could have stopped it at like
46.75, maybe a dip back down there, and I'm
but
bidding
no,
that.
I
I'm
had
bidding
to-
46.80. So if this does come back in, which it's looking like it wants to do,
That's
we'll get that
$9.
trade on
Damn it.
and see if we can manage it through. As this long on Microsoft is still hovering
That's
around
half
the
the
bottom. Let's see
account.
what happens with Roblox. What's up, Adara?
Dish is moving right now up about 4.25%. Yesterday, after market close, the Dow Jones announced that EchoStar will be replacing Dish Network in the S&P Small Cap 600 around January 2nd, because EchoStar will be acquiring Dish, and the acquisition will be completed by that time. So keep an eye on Dish. One to watch. Interesting catalyst here, guys.
Oh wow, Mara just wicked 30, but like when I say wicked, it broke by 20 cents and is now flushing. It's one thing to look for shorts. You got to find them and actually get some executions on it. Really, Neil's gonna break the 50 level at this time. Yeah, the timing on Neo breaking that 950 is probably horrible. So I'm not even gonna hold this past 945, and not the time. It's 946 right now, 948 right now. I'm talking about the price. We can take multiple cracks at this when it calms back down, but Roblox just broke a high when the market was going to the downside. Neo did the same thing. I do want to try the short on Mara off of that 30 level. It just feels Like you had to be super aggressive on that wick, and I wasn't. The other name that just came back in is Apple. So Apple dipped into 194. I want to hold it to 193.90. Like, where does that price come from? It was at the open yesterday. It was resistance at the open yesterday. That's all. So the market is going to the downside. It was like I was in two shorts and looking for more, and then all of a sudden had dip buys instead. That's what happens sometimes.
Yeah, I just bought some Apple too. I mean, it's all the way back in here. It's going to be hopefully. Look, I was just saying under my breath, or I don't know if you guys heard me or what, but this could be disastrous. Like, if this market doesn't hold, I'm long everything. I'm long now Apple, which is good. Hopefully that will work out for us. Let's just take some scalps out here. As again, remember, it's like trying to trade. Oh yeah, buddy.
Yeah, I'm long.
Right now, let's go Apple. Let's go. Nice little move to the upside right there on Apple. As we
on
just bought that
Bitcoin.
dip. We actually got long at 14s, or am I long at 13s? Takes them out here at 25s, now into the 30s. Let's see if Apple can continue its march a little bit higher. I am going to wait for 194.30, see if we can get that, as the high of the day is in the 60s right here for Apple. So good. We made a little bit of money back right now. I'm going to put a 27 actually offered out right now, because like I said, if this market continues its move to the downside, I don't know how long these positions are going to be able to last for in my account, because I'm not trying to get busted out here. Well, I won't get busted out, but we will get busted on some of these positions. We did just take another fill there on Microsoft, just because it keeps on bouncing here. Don't love this trade. 374.50 is when we say see you later to Microsoft. So it's going to have to break right into here. That's kind of those levels from yesterday morning or yesterday afternoon, and then we closed. It looks like there was a big buy imbalance maybe at the end of the day. So those prices are.
So check this out. I want to show you something. So yesterday, when I was looking at my, I'm going to blow this up for you, at my trade history. So this is where I had these sells. Look at this price, 42,098. Where is it at? It's 42,502, 42. So I would have still came down, but it would have brought these down to like $2 to $3, and then I could have closed them out, but I wouldn't have damaged the account so much. But what I did was I panicked and I bought this buy, okay? And I only let it go to $1.35, this one $1.39, and this one $1.34. And then I got the bright idea. I said, well, what if it starts to go the other way? And this is what gets you. That's where I'm at right now, right here at, mine is at 43,468. I'm thinking this candle right here is going to continue on an uptrend, because look, we're on an uptrend, but this is at a 1 hour. So check this out. So I'm going to go to let's go to a 1 minute chart. Well, first of all, hold on, we got to do this. Let me change my glasses and look at this right here. So we're going to a 1 hour chart. I'm going to take a vertical line. This is where you get your markings. I'm going to take a vertical line. I'm going to put right here. And this is going to represent where I I entered my trade. As a matter of fact, you already see where it's at. So now I'm going to lock it in. So when we go to a minute chart, all we need to do is scroll back now. See, remember when I said a bird's eye view? So we scroll out and we go back and we keep going back until we find it. Here it comes. Here it comes. All right. So now we can see where the trade began. Okay. So what we're gonna do, I gotta unlock this now, And I got to put it, see, looking at a bird's eye view, you've seen how much action there was going on had I been aware that in a 1 minute chart, you need to watch a 1 minute chart, because I could have, I could have exited here and not worried about it coming back down here. But exiting up to here is only going to be like 10 cents or 20 cents or something like that. I'm thinking I want dollar moves. I want to move $2. If we make trades $2.50 per hour for 8 hours, that's $1,000. Who wouldn't want to even, I mean, if you're not doing anything and you can do it on your spare time, I'm telling you. So we put that line there and we're gonna lock it in. Now let's take this and we're gonna walk through it. So I seen this right here and I watched it go down. And one thing that I'm going to teach you is that these markets, they move in waves. And these waves, you can actually see them by these lines here. This is a simple moving average. I'm going to open up my screen here and I'm going to add certain simple moving averages. Okay, this is a 50. So we like the 50 moving average because of the fact that it's a stable wave. Okay, this is a 10. This is a moderate wave. This wave right here, a 7, I would consider this, let me open this up, a tsunami wave. Okay, imagine a surfer. Okay, so now this is the 100 moving average. See how it gets more stable, it gets more flat. And the last one is going, I didn't put one, I should put it there. The last one is going to be the 200. Okay, when I started to learn this, there are some moving averages that I learned they respect themselves. Okay, so we're going to put 200 and we're going to color that one gold because we're going to use that one as the golden ratio. And I want to thank you for being with me. This is Michael Hayes of the Living Legacy Group Live Trading. Okay, now what I want you to see and understand is wherever I made this in a 1 minute time frame, it is going to change as we change the time frame. So the time frame now, I will move it to a 1 hour. Now, you see how these waves, they're still there and they still represent movements or structures. I had to learn this, movement and structures in the market. It's never going to go straight up and it's never going to go straight down. There's always going to be highs and lows and highs and lows and highs and lows. So like I said, when we like to start our day out, we want to see where we have been. What kind of movement has there been in the market? So when we look at Bitcoin and we look and see that when you look at a daily chart, that these movements, they're pretty smooth. Bitcoin is still going in an upward trend. So if you bought down here and just held the coin, don't worry about, see, the thing is that when you trade the coins like I'm trading in pocket options, it's different than holding your coins in an IRA or a cold storage, because it's just like owning a piece of stock. If I have to speak to you in stock language, then if you bought Ford or Pepsi or Coke or any of that, some people trade those in swings, some people trade those in longs, some people trade those in the day, and they scalp. And what we're doing is we're scalping Bitcoin. We're catching all of these waves are in the past. Okay, so right now you can see this is today's date, and you can see the 1217 down here where the gray is. Each one of these represents that day. Okay, so now that we break it down into a 4 hour, we can see what goes on. What's been going on in 4 hours? Each one of these candles represents 4 hours. Okay, so when we look at these candles, we can now identify patterns in the market, waves in the market. The 200 moving average, this one right here, is going to be more of a stable platform for you to find out if the market is going to be above or below. Right now we're above the 200 moving average. That's 200 days out of the year that the market has been above the 200. So when we change this, it changes the respect the market has for each 200 simple moving average during that 4 hour, 1 day, 5 minute, whatever time frame it is. So when we want to kind of predict what the market is going to do, we have to establish some visual. We're visual people. We learn by seeing. We learn by hearing. We learn by touch. These are some of the things that I teach. I'm not going to jump into that. But look, so we're looking at this market chart at a what do you call it? Oh, a 4 hour time frame. Okay, so when we change that time frame and we go down to a 1 hour chart, now we're looking at this candle, this green candle here. It just changed because it's got 57 minutes and 56 seconds to go before a new candle is born. So these are all dead candles. Okay, so when I started to learn how to trade, I had to know what the heck I was looking at. And when I was buying into courses and buying into these things that you'll see on Facebook, and everybody, they want to sell their course. Okay, I want to be able to sell my course too, but I'm rooting for the underdog. I was the underdog because I spent the money, and they were only giving me what they wanted to give me to feed me to that next month, because they wanted you to have the subscription. And as long as you have a subscription, you're going to still be going into debt because you're not going to get the learning curve that I endured for 5 years. Think about it. You have to think about all the time and all the effort I put in just to start. I don't want to start getting emotional, but I put into creating this. I created this out of my mind. And when I seen and somebody told me about this $7 trillion market, man, what? You mean I can work my job and I can trade stocks whenever I want to, or whenever, man, and I don't have to knock on any doors. I don't have to ask you to join me. I'm trying to give you some information, and you make that conscious decision if it's something you're interested into. But whatever you're interested into, follow the passion in your heart, and I can help you do that. But getting back to this chart, so when I look at this, I go, yeah, I'm down $8.40 now, but I know that it's going to rebound. And the way I know it's going to rebound is because of news, knowing the market, knowing the coin, knowing emotion, knowing greed, knowing fear. These things, they play into the market. And if you catch it just at the right time, like I'm holding out for the halving, I'm holding out for another market structure break. It's gonna break. We're just in it's one of those waves. Remember when I showed you the chart back here, I ain't gonna mess with that. When I showed you that chart, you know, it was an eye's view of what is predicted in the future, because this hasn't really, it's starting to hit the mainstream, but back in the day of maybe 3, 4, I would say 6 months ago, I would watch Yahoo Finance, and they were talking about how crypto was going to hit the mainstream. Okay, think about it. Life goes forward, so whatever you're holding on to, you can still hold on to it, and it still will have value, but life goes forward. AI is here. AI has hit mainstream. These big companies, BlackRock, all of these other companies that are gunning for crypto, even at a price of $43,000, you don't have to buy a whole coin. You can buy these things in increments. You can buy as low as, I think it's $1.50, maybe $2 worth of coin, and let it do its thing. Some things are no-brainers, but some things you really have to have somebody, you know, knock you upside the head and say, oh my God, I didn't think about that. But look, whenever there was going to be a crash, you could have took your coin and you could have converted back into Tether. Okay, so that's one of the coins that is stable. That is a dollar equal coin, stable coin, Tether, the Tether coin. So you would get into a high spot or on a low, a higher high, convert that profit into a Tether coin and wait for it to go down. But with iTrust Capital, you can take that that Tether, hold it there in your IRA, wait for it to hit, wait for another wave, put the Tether, convert the Tether back into Bitcoin and let it ride. This is money working as you sleep. We used to think it happens when you hold gold too. I'm very, very fond of gold. Gold helped me through the pandemic. That was my secret. It was the gold, the stuff that I was trying to push back in the day, and everybody thought I was crazy. So, hey, the past is the past. We let it go. This is 2000. We're getting into 2024. It's time for you to learn something new. And I'm going to be the one that's going to teach you what I've learned. You can learn with me. I'm still learning. This is why I broadcast the trading, Trader TV Live. We're learning human beings, and we have to learn to adapt. And if you're like me, I'm coming up on 60. I don't want to be standing in Walmart greeting people. Whatever you did, overloaded, turning down settings. Okay, I was looking at my platform. It had to catch up with itself. But I don't want to be one of those, God praise him. God praise him. But if you did something in the past and you got good at it, monetize it. This is a way to monetize it because you're learning a skill. You can trade the New York Exchange Monday through Friday from 8 to 5. So consider it if you're getting Social Security. At least it's something that you can, because even if you're making Social Security, you're allowed to get a job. So why not learn the market and learn to scalp and take profits per day? Yeah, it's possible to make $200 a day. It's just you have to learn where your risk where your risk is going to be, because it's going to be up to you. You risk yourself to get up every day to go to stand on a mat and say hello and smile. Hello, wear your little vest. Show people around that. Take a drink of coffee. Show people around that are spending their money in where you're working, and they're paying you. I don't know did they raise their minimum wage? I don't know. I work for myself, so I have a set price that I have, make my quota for the day. So, but anyways, getting back to the charts, I ain't gonna preach. I'm here to teach you what I learned. So now that you get that, when you can, I'm gonna take away some of these moving averages. Okay, so the 200 moving average is the most respected average for someone. Style. I want to make this a little thicker. For someone to know where is the market. When you hear these terms and these jargons, where is the market? The market is below the 200, so it's in a down trend. This is a trend. This is a trend. This is a trend. And if you zoom out, am I already zoomed out? I guess I'm already zoomed out as far as I can zoom. But I'm on a 1 hour chart. So that's why I said, you go to a daily chart and you can see that this is a trend. This is looking back. This is coming from June. This is September. There was a big dip right there. That was, what is that? 6/15. So that's June. So look at this uptrend, okay? This right here, we want to consider this as consolidation, okay? I can explain all that if you'd like. We can set up some time, and I'm not going to charge you a whole bunch of money, because I know how that feels. If you're gonna profit, I want you to gift me back what you profited. Remember what they were. Remember, pay it forward. I'm paying it forward. I've been there. I spent the money to learn this, and I'm still spending money to learn it, but they're not teaching me anything. I'm their puppet, I'm the reason they're making their thousands, because if you think about it, I caught this person. And what I caught is that they're running the same clip of them making their mark, making their big move, their big trade. But then when I joined the community, after I paid my dues, that is non-refundable when they say it's refundable. And he's only on there for 30 minutes. And they put you in this chat and they just, okay, that was it. So you're coming in to whatever's been started 6 months ago. And in order to get into levels, you have to pay. So the more money you spend, the more information they'll give. So if you're starting down here, they're going to keep you down here until you get to the point where you need to know more. All right? Well, then you're going to have to shell out the money. Not here at the Living Legacy Group. No. The way we fund and make our income is through affiliate marketing, through advertisements, hopefully on here on YouTube, Facebook, and all the other social networks. We make our money through trading, the cryptocurrencies, in the Forex department. Everything is funded, it's self-funded. There has never been a loan or anything that I have obtained to start this business. I started this business from scratch. And this is going to be the catalyst of my story, just like it's going to be the catalyst of your story. So it may not be trading or whatever, but I'm willing to coach you into whatever endeavor you feel that you want to go to. Let me get off my thing. But look, this is, remember I said this was a consolidation? So check this out. We're going to take these lines and we're going to move these lines here. And in later videos, you're going to find that, oh, it's locked. You're going to find that when you know that this is just a holding, this is like building up steam. It's either, it will go down, it may go down, we may visit down the 40s again, but it's definitely going up. This coin is going to be 70, is close to the 70s, maybe 90s. Who knows? But be prepared. Get a coin. I want to teach you how to get some coin. But I appreciate you being here. Please like, subscribe, and put comments. I love comments. Any kind of comments. I don't care because it doesn't really. I want to know what people's opinions are. That's just like your belly button. Everybody's got one, unless you cosmetically remove it, since people are doing so many things to their body. But anyways, so I'm gonna shut my mic off and I'm gonna pull back up Trading TV. And we're gonna follow this market. I'm gonna put all my charts back up here. We're gonna let it run. If there's a pair that you'd like to see on the charts, I'll put it on the Trading View chart so it'll be accurate, because there's some things that you can't trade on trading pocket options yet that I found, so I haven't looked for them. So listen to what these guys are doing. This is where you learn the material, and then we come back and we converse. You ask questions, things like that, so you can get used to it, because it's something you're going to have to get used to. You don't have to spend a whole lot of time. You can visit the link anytime, go back and look at all of the videos. You can take it one step at a time. Get your free account, open it up, and just fumble around with it. You had to fumble around when you learn how to drive. I know, when I got my first car, I wanted to go out of town. So do the same thing. So thanks for joining me. And now back to
market is flat. So this should work. And if it doesn't, then I mean, it's just going against what I normally trade. So again, there are going to be some days, we talked about this, man. With this kind of strategy, we're red 2 days this month. So it's like we're having a good month, but this could be this is so far the third day. And it's just like some of these trades just aren't holding, but I feel like we did screw up Microsoft there. We weren't patient enough with it. But again, you know, we've been taking shots on level breaks that have been working. It's just today right there. It was really cruising, man. I was so happy. We were like, yeah, let's go. And then all of a sudden the market right there off the open turned around and then headed right to that 17.1 as we decided. And then as we discussed, and literally, as my kids say, stopped on that dime.
Literally.
So, yeah.
My daughter she's starting that too. That
Oh yeah,
sus.
she's doing sus now.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's
That's too bad.
my daughter's into the whole sus thing. It's her newest phrase. And the funny thing is, like, I won't call. Like, I know the kid that taught it to her, like, in
What
her
is that?
class. And he's a good kid, and they're friends. But it's like every new thing, I'm like, yeah, I know exactly where that one came from. She's 7.
Suspect.
She's 6 going on 7, but in some ways I think
Sus.
12, which is
A suspect.
it's fine. Kids grow up too fast. Alibaba, if we're finding strong stocks, remember Alibaba that we kind of liked? Well, Alibaba is just holding near the high of the day here. Maybe VWAP retracement or a clean breakout through the high. Look at it, higher lows into a what do we call it? Ascending wedge. That's the term I was looking for. Sharif's all about that, Mr. Chartered Market Technician there. But a 77.80 break looks strong. The market is weak, and this is trying to take out some tops. See, we know a few chart patterns every now and then. It's not like we completely ignore them. We also don't ignore the small cap recap and Adara at the desk.
NVFY, one of our big low float runners of the day. This one is a float of under $1 million. Nova Lifestyles is the company, up almost 200% right now on the day. So watch NVFY. We also have IOVA is the ticker, Iovance. This one actually was trading lower than the daily chart here, much lower yesterday after the FDA slapped a clinical hold on one of its lung cancer studies. Now we're up about 14%, so I guess this is a bit of a rebound here for IOVA. Last but not least, Coherus. This one ran yesterday after getting a price target increase from H.C. Wainwright and announcing the approval of one of its medical delivery systems. This one up 16% today. Looks like we're still trading off of that news from yesterday, guys.
All right. We're trying to make our way back here in this market. So we did take Affirm just came all the way back up. Okay. All right, Affirm. I was just gonna say we took another piece out right here not too long ago at 43, and I was just gonna try to check back on this name. But yes, let's go. Like my net is going up here, and I just assumed, honestly, I'm not even paying attention to Affirm, to be honest with you, but it is a nice little move back to the upside right now for AFRM. But look at this, let's go Softy. And then also we just got, oh no, we did not, there's another piece out on Softy. Here comes Apple again. We do have an offer at 10s, I believe, or so on Apple, and if we can get that will be pretty good. And then let's go, just needs to go up a little. Look at this, look at it not breaking through 8. You want to talk about iceberg orders and things like that? Look at all the shares going through 8 there, ones, yet not even touching. There it is, we get some 9s, not even touching. When I said 10s, I was at 9s right there. So now we'll see if Apple can start to go back up to the upside. That's that stock. I don't really have too much else on right now, guys, to be honest with you. Just everything we're talking about. We're 40 cents in the money now on Microsoft, but we need more than that if we're going to get green on this name. So let's go Microsoft. We are doing pretty good holding this. Oh yeah, Moderna was, damn it, I just saw someone in the chat. Ooh, definitely holding off that Hyundai right there. We did say that we would like to get some Moderna if it did drop in, and we did call the short out was at 105. That didn't hit there today, but Moderna right now making that move back. Okay, Apple's trying to go, and then I want to check out AMD. Oh, damn it, I got to short that at some point. Coinbase as well, still holding out at 185 as Bitcoin's at 42,550 right now. Come on, Softy, come on. Apple, let's go Apple. We are now well positive on Apple as we make all of that back right now on Apple. You know why we're trading, and this is what I mean. When things are working well for you, You know, stay the course. Like, sure, Microsoft was a disaster, but, you know, we're buying back names here. We're sticking with what we're doing. And so far, so good here, making a little bit of money back on what was a disastrous open. But, you know, they say it on the midday show now, too. It's like,
Oops.
gotta have some confidence, right? If you have some confidence in your plays, sure, you're gonna get stopped out, man. Like 17-3 or whatever this month, I'll take it, and that 3 is in question. You know, but you got to stick with what you're doing. Come on, Microsoft. Let's get going back up to the upside. My next out on this bad boy, I think is above 75, right? Oh, I have one at 88 and then 75.20. So right there, that's 94. We want to try to respect some of these levels, but if we can break it up, that's VWAP at 50. So a couple more pennies upside, and we'll be okay on this position. But let's go. We're well cooking now, man. Roblox, cook, baby. Let's go. Some nice action here happening in the market. I hope you guys are enjoying the show, and if you're not, wow.
Then
If
you
you're
know,
not,
76 to 77, it was a breakout trade. I ended up buying this stock $1.50 from where I wanted it at the open. And sometimes that kind of anchoring can alter the way that you approach the trade. There's no question about it.
If you see
When
me
get
looking around,
anchored to,
I've got
I
a
want an entry
monitor,
price here
YouTube,
or here.
the
when
live
you're paying up
feed,
there, you're not necessarily
charts,
gonna
so
think you'll have as big of a move. But it
thanks
is
for
green
joining.
skies to the upside. I don't know if AMD's just breakout trades as well. I'm out of a firm. It couldn't hold on to that 51 level, so it's pretty much gone. And then remember Rivian and 24. 24 is the right price. It's also a pretty good show. The best president in TV history. Shout out to Mr. Palmer there. But 24 is certainly the right price, and I should have gone in long. I talked myself out of it and said I might stare at this, waiting for it to break down. Instead, it looks like Rivian wants to break out. It's got room to 24.60. That's a big level to the upside. So I will look for longs now. You've got to be able to adjust, and my adjustment is now accepting the fact that this is a long off 24. As we go back to the desk with Adara.
Yeah, just an update here. SIDU moving to the upside, up almost 80%. Sidus Space is the company's name. They're looking forward towards the 2024 launch with the CEO. Just, I guess, making some clarifications about their goal to their customers and their goal to deliver cutting-edge technologies in space. So keep an eye on SIDU running to the upside, guys.
Okay, sorry, I was actually, it's maybe it's Siddu, I call it Siddu, and I will always call it Siddu. I was just telling Sharif the story that one of our buddies, Sean and myself, one of our buddies from high school, Sean and I have known each other since high school. We were in the Hammer, which is Hamilton, visiting a friend in university. Let's just say that things got a little bit out of hand. Somebody may or may not have ended up in the drunk tank. It was not me, but they made a lifelong friend in Siddu.
it was also not me, by the way.
It was not. Well, it was not Sean either.
Slow down.
But essentially, all that happened is Siddu on the way out said, "Hey, I'll see you next week." And if you're saying I'll see you next week to a person in the drunk tank, then you've got an interesting life. So I give a tip of the cap to Siddu when I see it. Here comes the high of the day break on Rivian. It looks like it wants to go 24.25 is that high of the day break.
Boom.
In a matter of seconds here. And ARM, I'm on the bid at 77 if we get that dip. AMD as well for the 148. I just want to be going back into these strong stocks.